John Darwin paddled his canoe into the North Sea and disappeared. His canoe washed up on shore, empty. Search teams found nothing, no body, no trace. His wife Anne reported him missing. Weeks passed. The search was called off. John Darwin was declared dead, drowned at sea. His wife collected £250,000 in life insurance. Grieving widow. Tragic accident. Case closed. Except John Darwin wasn't dead. He was living in the house next door for 5 years, hidden, while his wife collected insurance, while his sons grieved, until a photograph surfaced. John Darwin, alive, in Panama. He was arrested, convicted, jailed for fraud. Tonight, I'm examining pseudocide, the people who fake their own deaths, why they do it, how they do it, and what it reveals about identity, about society, about the unbearable weight of being yourself. This is Inner Pigment, who fakes death and why. What is pseudocide? Pseudocide, from Greek pseudo, meaning false, and Latin side, meaning killing. False killing. The intentional faking of one's own death, also called self-staged death, simulated death, strategic disappearance through fake death, not suicide, not murder, something else entirely, the killing of identity, without killing the body, the scale. How common is this? Difficult to measure. Successful pseudocides remain undiscovered. By definition, we only know about the failures, the people who got caught. Estimates. Hundreds attempt annually, globally. Most get caught within 5 years. Some are never found, living as someone else, somewhere else. The famous cases. John Darwin, the Canoe Man, UK, 2002, March 2002. Hartlepool, England, John Darwin, 47 years old, prison officer, married, 2 sons, heavily in debt, mortgages on 13 properties, all underwater, financial collapse. He planned his death, paddled canoe into North Sea, left it to wash ashore, empty. Wife Anne reported him missing, massive search operation, Coast Guard, helicopters, nothing found. Declared dead. Anne claimed life insurance, £250,000. But John wasn't dead. He was living in a bedsit, next door to the family home. Secret door connected the properties. For 5 years, he hid there. Anne brought him food. They planned to start new life abroad. Eventually moved to Panama. Started new life as John Jones. 2007. They bought property. A photograph was taken. Estate agent's website. John and Anne Darwin. Alive. In Panama. Someone in England recognized them. Contacted police. John returned to UK. Claimed amnesia. I don't remember the last 5 years. No one believed him. Both arrested. Convicted of fraud. John, 6 years prison. Anne, 6.5 years. Their sons hadn't known. They genuinely grieved. The sons disowned both parents. John Stonehouse, the politician, UK, 1974. November 1974. Miami Beach, Florida, John Stonehouse, British Member of Parliament, former Postmaster General, wealthy, successful, respected, but secretly bankrupt, failed businesses, debt, scandal brewing. He left his clothes on a beach, shoes, watch, towel, walked into the ocean, disappeared. Search teams found nothing, declared dead, drowned, except he'd flown to Australia, using a stolen identity, living in Melbourne. But he made mistakes, used the dead man's bank account, unusual transactions. Bank noticed. Thought he might be Lord Lucan, another British fugitive. Police investigated, arrested him, not Lord Lucan, John Stonehouse. Extradited to UK, convicted, 7 years prison, career destroyed, reputation ruined, marriage ended, all to escape debt and scandal. Ken Casey, the author, USA, 1966, January 1966, California. Ken Casey, author. One flew over the cuckoo's nest. Famous, counterculture icon, but arrested for marijuana possession, facing prison. He staged suicide, left his truck on a cliff edge, suicide note inside. Ocean, ocean, I'll beat you in the end. Police found it, assumed he'd jumped, drowned. Kesey had actually fled to Mexico, lived there for months, off-grid, no official identity. Eventually returned, tired of hiding, faced the charges, served time. Later said, faking death seemed easier than going to prison. Why people do it. The motivations fall into categories. Financial desperation, most common reason. Debt too large to escape. No bankruptcy option. Collectors relentless. Life insurance seems like only solution. Fake death. Spouse collects. Both benefit. This is insurance fraud. Highly illegal. But desperate people take desperate measures. Shame and scandal, public humiliation, career destroyed, reputation ruined. Being you is unbearable. Everyone knows what you did. Social media, Google, permanent record. Death seems like only way to escape who you've become. Relationship, escape, abusive marriage, custody battle, stalking, can't legally escape. Courts won't help. Abuser is relentless. Faking death seems like only way to be free. Some domestic violence survivors fake death to escape. Criminal escape, wanted by law or by criminals, mafia, cartels, gang, cooperated with police, now target or committed crime, about to be caught. Faking death buys time, new identity, new location, identity, exhaustion, rare but profound. Famous people, public figures, people trapped in identity. Being that person is prison. Death is only way to stop being who they are. Actor, politician, celebrity. Can't escape public identity while alive. Death is liberation. The pattern. Regardless of reason, the pattern is same. You can't be you anymore for financial, legal, social, or psychological reasons. Your identity is prison, and death is the only key. How pseudocide works and fails. Methods that work. What makes a convincing fake death? No body. Most important, no body to find. Because bodies prove death or prove life. Drowning at sea, falling from cliff into ocean, hiking accident in wilderness. Any death where body is never recovered. This creates plausible deniability. Accidental circumstances. Suicide is suspicious. Investigated closely, accident is more believable. Boating accident, hiking fall, swimming in dangerous waters. Looks tragic, not intentional. Less investigation, remote location. Where search and rescue is difficult. Ocean, mountains, wilderness, hard to search. Easy to fail to find body. Searchers eventually give up. Person declared dead. Case closed. Leaving evidence. Abandoned vehicle. Discarded clothing. Suicide note. Something to suggest death happened here. Creates narrative. Investigators piece it together. Conclude death. Without body, but with evidence. Having accomplice, usually spouse. For insurance benefit. They report you missing. Grieve publicly. Collect insurance. Meanwhile, you're hiding. Planning new life. Eventually meet abroad. Start over. This worked for John Darwin for years. Why people get caught. Most pseudocides fail. Here's why. Insurance investigation. Insurance companies don't pay out easily, especially large policies, especially suspicious timing. Someone takes out £1,000,000 policy. Dies 6 months later. No body found. Red flags everywhere. Investigators examine everything. Financial records. Communications. Travel history. One inconsistency. Investigation intensifies. Many pseudocides discovered this way. Digital trail. Modern impossibility. Every border crossing tracked. Passport scanned. Facial recognition. Every phone use logged. Email. Social media. Bank transactions. Credit card. You leave digital footprints everywhere. Investigators follow them. John Darwin found via photo online. Digital trail is inescapable. Using someone else's identity. Common method. Also, common failure point. Steal dead person's identity. Get their documents. Live as them. Problem, biometric databases. Your face, your fingerprints. Database says, this is John Smith using name Robert Jones. You're caught. Modern biometrics make identity theft ineffective. Contacting family. Emotional weakness. You're dead. Living somewhere else. You miss your children, your parents, your friends. You contact them. I'm alive. Don't tell anyone. They tell someone. Or police find communication. You're caught. John Stonehouse caught partially because he couldn't stay completely hidden. Accomplice confesses. Your spouse knows you're alive. They collected insurance, committed fraud. They feel guilty, or get caught, or get angry at you. They confess. You're both arrested. And Darwin eventually showed cracks. Investigation uncovered truth. Making mistakes. Living under fake identity requires perfection. One slip, one use of old name, one old habit, one recognition. Someone from old life sees you, or you use old email account, old phone number, or security camera catches you somewhere you shouldn't be. One mistake, entire scheme collapses. Famous failures in detail. Raymond Rife, USA 2004. Businessman, debt, life insurance policy. Faked drowning in Lake Michigan. Abandoned boat. Wife collected insurance. He fled to Mexico. But used cell phone. Tracked. Caught within months. Marcus Schrenker, USA 2009. Financial advisor. Fraud investigation closing in. Faked plane crash. Flew plane over Alabama. Put on parachute. Jumped. Plane crashed. Investigators found wreckage. No body. Assumed dead. But canopy video showed parachute deploying. Suspicious. Police found him. Hiding in tent. Florida campground. Arrested. Convicted. Benny Wint, USA 2013. Father. Custody battle. About to lose. Faked kayaking accident. Kayak found empty. Ocean. Declared dead. But border record showed he'd crossed into Mexico. Before death. Caught. Arrested. Lost custody anyway. The success rate. Unknown precisely. We only know failures. Estimates. 90 to 95% get caught. Usually within 5 years. 5% might succeed. Living somewhere under fake identity. Or living in poverty. Off-grid. No official existence. Which brings us to, what if you succeed? Life after death. Say you fake death successfully. Investigators believe you're dead. Family believes, insurance paid, now what? No legal identity. You're legally dead. Can't use real name, real documents, real anything. You're nobody. No bank account. Can't open account as dead person. Can't use old accounts. Traced immediately. Must use accomplice's account, or cash only. Cash only means poverty-level existence. No employment. Can't get legitimate job. Background check reveals identity theft or death record. Must work cash jobs, under table, illegal, low pay, no protection, no benefits, no travel. Can't use passport. You're dead. Passport invalidated. Can't cross borders legally. Trapped in whatever country you're in. No relationships. Can't form real relationships. Can't tell truth about who you are. Every relationship based on lie. Deep loneliness. Constant fear. Always afraid of being recognized. One person from old life. One police check. One mistake. You're arrested. Everything collapses. Living in fear is prison. Different prison. Still prison. The reality. Even if you successfully fake death, you haven't escaped. You've traded one prison for another, financial pressure prison to poverty plus fear prison, identity shame prison to living a lie prison. You took yourself with you, your anxiety, your habits, your problems, new location, no legal identity, same you. And now, isolated, poor, afraid, criminal. This is why most who succeed eventually return or turn themselves in, because the freedom isn't worth the cost. Why society creates pseudocide, the debt trap. Why do people fake death to escape debt? Because debt is inescapable. The bankruptcy myth. Western societies have bankruptcy. Supposedly, file bankruptcy, debt discharged, fresh start. Reality, not all debt is dischargeable. Student loans, tax debt, court-ordered payments follow you forever. And bankruptcy destroys credit for 7 to 10 years. Can't rent apartment, can't get loan, can't start business. Bankruptcy is fresh start with asterisk. Still trapped. Debt collection practices. In some countries, debt collection is brutal. Legal harassment. Contact your employer. Public shaming. Wage garnishment. Asset seizure. You're working, but creditors take your wages, living in poverty while paying debt. For years, sometimes decades. The permanence. Modern debt follows you forever. Credit agencies track everything. Missed payment from 10 years ago? Still on record. Old debt? Sold to collectors? Who can sue you decades later? You can't escape, except through death. Death is only legal release from debt. Who benefits? Debt collection industry, banks, credit card companies. They profit from inescapable debt. Permanent records, permanent liability, permanent payments. If debt could be easily escaped, they'd lose billions. So system is designed to make escape impossible, except through death. This makes pseudocide rational, not moral, but rational, the insurance incentive. Life insurance creates perverse incentive. How it works. You pay premiums for years. When you die, beneficiary receives payout. Often hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions. This is meant to protect family, but it also creates temptation. The calculation, you're in debt, £100,000, no way to pay, but you have life insurance, £200,000 policy. If you die, spouse gets money, debt paid, surplus remains. Mathematical solution, die. But you don't want to actually die. So, fake death. This is insurance fraud, major crime. But desperate people make desperate calculations. Why companies investigate? Insurance companies know this incentive exists. They investigate suspicious deaths carefully. Recent policy, large amount, no body. Suspicious circumstances, red flags, many pseudocides discovered by insurance investigators, not police, insurance companies. They have financial incentive to prove fraud. The system creates the problem. Insurance meant to protect, but creates incentive to fake death, especially in systems where debt is inescapable. You're trapped by debt. Only escape is death, but insurance makes death profitable. System creates its own problem. The reputation prison, modern phenomenon. Permanent reputation, the digital record. Everything you've ever done, online, forever. Embarrassing photo, stupid tweet, past mistake, stored, archived, searchable. Google never forgets. Wayback Machine, data brokers, social media archives. Your digital ghost is eternal. Cancel culture, make mistake, public, permanent, unforgivable, fired from job, friends abandoned, family ashamed. Your name Googled? First result, your mistake. Forever, no redemption, no second chance, no moving past. The escape fantasy. How do you escape permanent reputation? Change name, Google still finds you. Move countries, internet is global. Delete social media, already archived elsewhere. Only true escape, death. If you're dead, people stop Googling you. Reputation dies with you. This makes pseudocide appealing. Who benefits? Social media companies, data brokers, Google. They profit from permanent identity. Your data is their product. They store everything, forever. You can't delete yourself. You're trapped in your digital identity. Death is only exit. The fresh start impossibility. American dream, anyone can reinvent themselves. Reality. Modern systems make reinvention impossible. Credit scores. Your financial past defines your future. Bad credit? Can't rent? Can't borrow. Can't start business. 7 to 10 years minimum. You're trapped by financial history. Criminal records. Arrested once? Background checks forever. Even if charges dropped, even if not convicted, arrest record appears. Blocks employment, housing, opportunity. You're defined by past forever. Employment gaps. Lost job, gap in resume. Every employer asks, "What were you doing?" No good answer. Gap becomes liability. Compounds. Harder to get hired. Gap grows. You're trapped by unemployment. Social media profiles, professional networks, LinkedIn, public profiles, your history, your connections, your past jobs. Can't delete, can't start over. Your professional identity is permanent. The pattern. Modern systems create permanent identities, financial, criminal, social, digital, professional. You can't escape who you've been. Systems are designed this way because permanence creates control, predictability, profit. But it also creates desperation. Some people would rather die than be trapped, so they fake death. Because society offers no other escape. The death drive and identity death. Freud's Thanatos. Sigmund Freud. Beyond the Pleasure Principle. 1920. Two drives, Eros and Thanatos. Eros, life drive, creation, connection, growth. Thanatos, death drive, destruction, return, non-existence. The death drive. Not suicidal ideation exactly. Deeper. Desire to return to state before life, before consciousness, before self, before being. Non-existence is peaceful. Existence is struggle. Thanatos is pull toward ending struggle. Pseudocide as Thanatos. Faking death is Thanatos without biological death. You don't kill body, you kill identity. The self dies. But you continue experiencing. This is death drive manifest. Symbolic death, identity suicide. The distinction. Actual suicide, body dies, self dies, experience ends. Pseudocide, body lives, self dies. Experience continues. Different thing entirely. You get death of self without losing consciousness. Ultimate expression of Thanatos, short of actual death. Identity as unbearable. Why would someone kill their identity? Because being you is too heavy. The weight of self. Modern identity is burden. Your name, your reputation, your history, your obligations, your debt, your mistakes, your shame, your failure, all attached to identity. You can't separate yourself from these. They are you. As long as you're you, they're with you. The prison metaphor. Identity is prison. Bars made of your past, your records, your relationships, your reputation. You can't leave. You carry prison everywhere because prison is you. Death is only key. When you die, identity dies. Prison dissolves. You're free, but you're also dead. Pseudocide offers compromise. Kill identity, keep body, be free, at least theoretically. Comparison to other escapes. Let's compare identity escape methods. Disappearing. Method. Move location. Change name informally. Cut contact. Identity change. Partial. You're still legally you. Difficulty. High but possible. Outcome. Living in hiding. Fear of discovery. Pseudocide. Method. Fake death. New identity. Legal death. Identity change. Complete. Legally dead. Difficulty. Extremely high. usually fails. Outcome, if successful, poverty plus fear plus isolation. Actual suicide. Method, kill body. Identity change, total. You cease to exist. Difficulty, final. Irreversible. Outcome, non-existence. Therapy/self-improvement. Method, change who you are internally. Identity change, gradual, incomplete. Difficulty, very hard, lifelong process. Outcome, still you, just different version. Geographic relocation. Method, move cities/countries. Identity change, 0. Still legally you. Difficulty, easy. Outcome, same problems, new location. The pseudocide appeal. Why would someone choose pseudocide over alternatives? Because other methods don't kill identity completely. Disappearing, still you, just hidden. Therapy, still you, just improved. Relocation, still you, different place. Only death kills identity completely. But actual death means non-existence. Pseudocide offers death of identity without death of consciousness. You experience freedom from being you, theoretically. The psychological aftermath. But what actually happens psychologically? Guilt. You've killed yourself. Your family grieves. Your children cry at your funeral. You watch, from hiding or hear about it later. The guilt is crushing. You caused their pain, intentionally, for your freedom. Can you live with that? Identity. Void. You killed your identity. Now you're nobody. No history, no connections, no story. You're blank. This is existentially terrifying. Humans need identity, need narrative, need belonging. Without it, void. Many pseudocide survivors report this. They wanted to escape identity. They succeeded. Now they have none. And they realize some identity is better than no identity. Living the lie. You're using fake identity. Every interaction is performance. Every relationship is based on lies. You can't be authentic, can't share real history, real thoughts, real self, because real self is dead. You're performing always. This is exhausting. Psychological toll is immense. Isolation. Can't trust anyone with truth. Can't form deep relationships. Can't contact old friends or family. Complete isolation. Humans are social animals. Isolation is torture. Many pseudocide survivors eventually return because isolation is worse than the problems they fled. Fear. Constant fear of discovery. Every police officer, every background check, every chance encounter could be the moment you're caught. Living in fear is not freedom, it's different prison. The paradox. Pseudocide promises freedom from identity. In reality, it delivers guilt from killing yourself to loved ones, identity void from having no authentic self, exhaustion from constant performance, isolation from inability to form real bonds, fear from threat of discovery. This isn't freedom, this is different cage. The return. Many who successfully fake death eventually return or turn themselves in. Why? Because being dead is worse than being themselves. The freedom they sought doesn't exist. They took their problems with them, plus added guilt, isolation, fear, criminal liability. The prison of identity was lighter than the prison of pseudocide. What pseudocide reveals. The self as construct, Western philosophy, Eastern philosophy, both agree on something. The self is constructed, not inherent, not fixed. Society creates it. Western view. Descartes, I think, therefore I am. But what is the I that thinks? Modern psychology. The self is social construct. Your identity is made of relationships, roles, achievements, reputation. Society tells you who you are. You internalize it. This becomes you. Eastern view, Buddhism, anatta, no self. The self is illusion. What you think is you is actually constantly changing aggregates of experience. There's no permanent you, just sensations, thoughts, emotions arising and passing. Attachment to fixed self creates suffering. The agreement. Both traditions agree self is not solid. It's constructed from outside and inside. Society plus your interpretation equals identity. The modern problem. If self is constructed, can't we deconstruct and reconstruct? Historically, yes. People reinvented themselves, moved west, changed name, started over. No records, no credit scores, no internet. Fresh start was possible. Modern era, no permanent records, everything recorded, everything stored, everything searchable. Digital identity is permanent. You can't deconstruct and reconstruct because records maintain old construction. Even if you change name legally, Google links old to new. You can't escape construction. The trap. Society constructs your identity, then makes that construction permanent. You're trapped in construction, even if it no longer fits, even if it's based on who you were, not who you are. The only deconstruction society recognizes? Death. When you die, construction is archived, no longer active. This is why pseudocide is appealing. Society only releases identity at death. So, fake death. Get released. The question of authenticity. Existentialist question. Can you be authentic? Sartre. We're condemned to freedom. We must choose who we are. But choosing requires freedom from social construction. Pseudocide is extreme version of this, radical freedom. Complete rejection of social construction. You kill socially constructed self. Attempt to create new self from scratch. But can you? The problem. Even if you kill old identity, you're still you. Your psychology, your habits, your patterns. These aren't in your name. They're in your brain. New identity. Same brain, same anxiety, same self-doubt, same tendencies. You haven't escaped yourself. You've just changed the label. Sartre's insight. We are our choices. Can't escape that. Faking death is choice. Living with guilt is choice. Hiding in fear is choice. You're still making choices, still constructing self, just different construction, built on lies. Is that more authentic or less? What pseudocide reveals about modern existence? Mass pseudocide fantasy reveals something profound, the unbearable weight of identity. Modern humans fantasize about faking death. Why? Because modern identity is too heavy, too permanent, too public, too inescapable. Every mistake recorded, every failure remembered, every shame immortalized. Google ensures you can never escape who you've been. Society won't let you change. So, death fantasy. If you were dead, you'd be released. The failure of society. Society that drives people to fake death is broken. Healthy society allows growth, change, redemption, fresh starts. Modern society, permanent records, permanent debt, permanent reputation, no forgiveness, no do-overs, no escape. Only death releases you. This is sickness, not individual pathology, societal pathology. The autonomy question. Pseudocide is ultimate autonomy claim. I control my own narrative, including the ending. Even if I have to die to be free, I'll die on my terms. My identity is mine to kill. This is profound autonomy claim, also profound desperation. That autonomy requires identity death. The meaning crisis. Why do people want to kill their identities? Because modern identity is meaningless. Your identity is consumer, worker, debtor, profile, not, beloved, essential, sacred. If identity had meaning, you'd want to keep it. But modern identity is burden without meaning. So, why keep it? Death offers release. The uncomfortable truth. We create society that makes identity unbearable, then punish people who try to escape it. Pseudocide is illegal, fraud, crime. But we made the prison. We made escape necessary. Then we criminalize the escape. This is society eating itself. John Darwin paddled into the North Sea and disappeared, not drowned, hiding next door for 5 years, while his wife collected insurance, while his sons grieved, eventually caught, jailed, family destroyed. Was it worth it? No. But here's what it reveals. Hundreds of people fake their deaths every year, not because they're crazy, because society has made their identities unbearable. Debt that never ends, reputation that never fades, records that never delete. Your past is permanent. Your mistakes are immortal. Your shame is archived. Google ensures you can never escape who you've been. Society won't allow fresh starts. Death is only release. So some people fake it. They think, if I die, I'll be free. New identity, new life, no history. But it doesn't work. Because you take yourself with you, your psychology, your patterns, your problems, plus guilt from killing yourself to those who loved you. Isolation from living a lie. Fear from threat of discovery. Poverty from having no legal identity. This isn't freedom. This is different prison. Most who succeed eventually return, because being dead is worse than being themselves. The real question isn't, how do you fake death? The real question is, why does modern society make people want to? What have we created? A world where debt is eternal? Where reputation is permanent? Where identity is prison? Where you can't change, can't grow, can't be forgiven? Where death seems like only escape? This is what drives pseudocide, not individual madness, collective madness. A society that won't let you be anyone but who you've already been and punishes you for trying to change. This has been Inner Pigment. Stay curious, stay questioning, and maybe ask, if you could fake your death and start over, would you? And what does your answer reveal about the life you're living?